Hey, this is Wileen Benson, and you are on the Daily Gratitude Call, where we start every day in gratitude. Gratitude is the highest energy state that we can be in. It creates a frequency of positive vibration that attracts positive experiences into our lives. Hey everybody, this is Wileen Benson. This is our Daily Gratitude Call. Thank you for joining our call today. I want to welcome all of those who are here live and also those who are listening on the podcast. I've been watching, I always post the recording on SoundCloud after the call is done, and then, it gets posted to all the other popular podcast platforms. And I've been watching as I go into SoundCloud to upload, it always tells me how many plays have happened in the last 7 days. And I've seen that number come up quite significantly over the last couple of weeks. And I've just been really grateful as I've been watching that number go up. And I don't, check in as often on the other platforms, but this is just like easy because I'm going there every day to post. And it just makes me really grateful to know that this feeling of gratitude is being spread throughout the world. I posted yesterday in the Breakthrough with Gratitude page, I think it was yesterday, a video that somehow I was led to. Probably inspiration, but I don't even know what prompted me to look it up, of Emoto's water experiment. And the video that was right at the top was a video about a Japanese classroom of Japanese kids, I think. And they had done an experiment with gratitude on water, and it showed the results of water that was just in the Japanese water system, and how it had been purified through just expressing gratitude with these children in the class. And I just watching that was confirmation of everything that we're doing. Hang on just a second. I might be changing the thing that we're going to focus on today. I was not 100% certain when I started the recording. I knew that it would actually manifest itself when I started the call, and I think I know what it is now. And I'm just going to, I have some other things that I wanted to share, but I think I'm going to share this after we do our private meditation. So I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds, and our focus today, the gratitude that we're going to be giving this 90 seconds to, is gratitude for ethereal presence. Ethereal, ETHEREAL, presence. And we'll see what that brings up. And I feel like that ethereal, I had the word presence and I added the word ethereal to it because of this gratitude that I was just sharing with you. How it's an ethereal thing, but it's actually present, and I think that's going to provide a really great foundation for us to have a wonderful discussion today. So gratitude for ethereal presence, and I'm going to set the timer for 90 seconds and just write down whatever comes to you. Begin. All right. I think what really opened up this idea for me this morning in my daily GPS, I was led to a scripture. Actually, it was yesterday, and today was just kind of some additional information that came to me through the scripture that I was led to today. But yesterday, the words "look forward to," as I was thinking about a new goal that I had just set, and I was looking forward to this goal being manifested. And I just had the thought to look up the words "look forward to," just do a search in the scriptures for those words. And all of the scriptures that came up had to do with manifesting. And the words "look forward to" several times were followed by "with faith." And those of you who are on our Lord's Way to Wealth Mastermind call yesterday, those of you who are in that mastermind group, we talked about, oh no, it was yesterday on the breakthrough on the gratitude call, we talked about the gap and how that gap is filled with faith. And I get my calls mixed up. I think that was the gratitude call. Anyway, amazing stuff happening. And that faith is actually a substance. There's an ethereal presence that is there in the gap when it is, it's actually a physical, real thing when we have faith that it is coming. And anyway, I just wanted to just share those thoughts, kind of give you guys some things to think about. And then also Deepti, I was able to get on a video chat with her. She's in India and we had never met face to face. And we met right after the gratitude call. So she got to see me with messy hair, no makeup, haven't been in the shower, anything. So we got to see each other on video chat, but that still was an ethereal presence. It felt so real. It felt so much more connective than just hearing voices, but it still was ethereal. And I'm just like so grateful that we have that ability here now. In our world, the technology has allowed us to believe that an ethereal presence is actually a physical presence, that it's like one more step towards knowing that Deepti actually exists and her knowing that I actually exist. In fact, I was on a call yesterday with one of my clients. It was a 15-minute call. And she, at the end, was just really emotional. And she said in a very tearful voice, she says, "Wileen, I don't know if you even realize how grateful I am that you exist." She says, "I'm so grateful that you exist," because of the transformation that she'd experienced on that 15-minute call. And I'm just really grateful that these ethereal things that we have to have faith in, whether it's something we're manifesting or a truth that we're holding on to that we hope is true, or a person that lives across the world that we are gaining benefit from having their ethereal presence in our lives. I'm just so grateful that we have that technology to take us one step closer to really having a physical presence of whatever it is that we're experiencing in the ethereal right now. Robert.
So you did throw me off on the word ethereal because it's like, what does that mean? So I looked it up for my 90-second thing. It's spelled Ethereal, ethereal, if I heard correctly. Mm-hmm. And it's defined as extremely delicate and light in a way that seems too perfect for this world.
Oh, interesting.
Which is similar to delicate, exquisite, and dainty. And so now I get to think for the next 90 seconds, what is it? Because I believe your question was ethereal presence.
Yeah, that actually brings a whole new meaning to, to this idea of ethereal presence, that it isn't that it's so delicate, light, like not heavy enough, or not, not capable of being here on the earth in this, like a heavy piece of furniture or whatever. It's more of an idea, or a whatever, of a piece of furniture that's not even been created yet.
Well, if I may interrupt, and like Laura, I think said it, hit it from in this conversation about the presence of her son can be in a or with DT. I mean, he was created, and a lot of us, if not all of us, are to come to this world is an exquisite experience. Just the whole process. Wow. And then to have your son or your children, or the harvest that was talked about, that just happens, has got to be fit in that ethereal presence.
Beautiful. I feel like there could be just an awesome discussion even about this when you talk about children. If we use your definition that you looked up, Robert, that they are too perfect for this world. Christ was too perfect for this world, but they come anyway, and we actually, it's a great physical experience while we're here. Thank you.
And if we look at some of these people, our children who pass, we could use that same, they were too good for this world.
Thank you. Melinda, and then Tammy, and then Deep Tea.
So right after our rounds of gratitude, my baby girl woke up. She'll be 2 in January. And when children wake up, they just give you this just embrace that to me is ethereal. It's just like this. And so in the chat, I put that I was grateful for baby cuddles as well. And so for me, that just brings it perfect. And I also had to look it up. So thank you, Robert. I was like, I wonder if I'm the only one. But after I looked it up, I realized that when I was young and I would listen to the speakers at church, I would start seeing a light and aura around the speakers. And it was such a light that varied from speaker to speaker. And I remember asking my mom, what is that? Like, do you see that? Because it changes, and that was the first time that, my mom and she was explaining this gift and auras to me and how some people see that. And that was my first experience with auras and how each of us can have this ethereal light within all of us, which is the light of Christ, which when Robert's talking about children, they just come so full of the light of Christ and so heavenly.
Beautiful. Thank you. And how wonderful that you had a mother that was able to explain that to you. That's a gift right there, to have a mother that was able to help you embrace your gift. Thank you. Tammy.
So I looked up the definition also, but I love how there's so many different meanings to the same word. The definition that I found that was resonating with me was that it means of or relating to regions beyond the earth. And last night I was talking to Josh after being on Laura's nightly meditation group. I had this amazing experience last night on there, and I was just expressing to him how much I love meditation, and he was asking me why, and the words that came to me were that meditation allows me to elevate from the world and connect with realms and existences outside of the earth. And I love when we're able to do that and have experiences. So what I experienced last night during her meditation was it was almost like these fireworks, or like these balls of firelight shooting down my spine into my root chakra. And after the call, it was an amazing experience watching these things shoot down my spine. But after the call, when I stood up, I could feel a significant physical difference in my back and down in my lower area. And I love that even though these things aren't tangible per se, they create physical change within us, which gives us greater evidence of their validity.
Beautiful. Wow, such an awesome experience to be able to and go back to and kind of anchor in those ideas. I love that they don't appear tangible, but they really are tangible because they're creating physical change. I love that. Thank you. Deep Tea.
So ethereal presence is always present. There is a higher intelligence, we all know, but we always plugged into the higher intelligence. But the problem is we never pick up the phone, or we do have the tools available to us. But what happens is we try to bring it to sensations like our five senses. But to connect to the ethereal presence, you got to expand your awareness and not see the physical presence by your sensations on the earth you are living on. And intuition, like when you get intuitions, that is, so obviously to get to the ethereal presence, you have to use tools to actually connect and step up your personal power. And we already have those tools available. And in return, what you get is intuitions and your guidances and everything. That is a proof there is an ethereal presence over and above your body.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I love what you're saying, that if you want to connect with intuition, if you want to tap into that, you have to use senses that are not of the earth. Our physical senses are really good at picking up physical, tangible things. But if we're going to tap into these higher realms, like Tammy was talking about, and, listening for intuition and so many other powers that are available to us, then we have to use senses that are outside or above those physical senses.
Over and above our conventional ways of living.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Who else?
Welcome.
Time for maybe one more share.
I was, when I thought of ethereal presence, I thought of the definition that Tammy was using. And the thing is that what the main theme of what came to me was protection. The ethereal realm is one that, because it's beyond our five senses, it's not one that we have immediate access to. And it's actually the realm from which our protection comes from. As it was coming to me, and it reminded me of that of Jesus as our shepherd. Christ as our shepherd. God protects us, right? And our angels protect us, and from things that we don't even know are there. And it's the reason we were called sheep, because the ethereal is, in a sense, more real than what we see in our senses, because what we see with our senses is actually changeable by our observation, right? According to quantum physics, the observer effect, we can change what we're seeing. And therefore, it is a result, right? It's an effect of reality rather than a cause, right? It's an effect. Mm-hmm. The physical world is an effect. And so we tend to focus on the effect as if it's the cause.
Mm-hmm. Or it's like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying.
Are you with me?
Yes, totally.
So the physical world is the effect of our thoughts and our feelings, and our manifestations, right?
Mhm.
Like you're talking about, you can change water with gratitude. So gratitude is more real. It's a cause
Mhm.
of the effect in the water, right?
Mhm.
But we don't cause, I don't know, maybe we do. That's something we could think about. Do we cause changes in the ethereal realm that we don't even really know about? I mean, it goes back to what I was thinking about yesterday with God being like really magnanimous by accepting me, into
Mhm.
his oneness. It's like me, I mean, it's like with all my foibles and imperfections and lostness, like I'm just, but he loves me anyway. So, and it just, the thing is that in the ethereal realm, that's where we need protection. And we have that protection, you know, so that it's almost like our guardian angel is just like, we're like wandering off in the wrong direction, headed right for something really not good, and just guiding us over here a little bit, and that ethereal presence in our life is a guiding hand. It's a protecting hand. And it's also one that as we become more developed spiritually, we can tap into, and like others have said here, start to really create a new reality for ourselves. And moving our brains right into different brain waves so that we can experience the ethereal, and so that we can experience and so we can start to actually manipulate physical reality.
Yes. Yes, I love that. One of the things that I want to go back to that you said about protection, that's where our protection lies, is in the ethereal realm. I thought about like the physical world that we live in, the 3D world, like DT has called it the 3D world that we live in. There are things that can hurt us, right? We have physical pains that we can experience. But there's none of that in the ethereal world. And so if we're experiencing pain in our lives, whether that's a feeling of depression or, that somebody's actually physically abusing us, or, having worry about a child or whatever, things that are, if we're experiencing pain in the physical world, then the natural answer to that is to go to the ethereal, because that's where protection lies. And that's where we have the opportunity to create something new. If what's happening in our physical world, we can't, go to something physical to make a change. We have to go to the ethereal to make the change. Thank you. Betsy, I think you had something, and then Phil.
Yeah, thank you. I was actually thinking of, ethereal is so otherworldly, but it's really just a touch away, a thought away, accepting that is. And after losing my dad many, many years ago, I feel more connected with him in a way, and just think of what would he say to me, or what would his advice be, and that his presence is felt. And so a lot of people say that we've got angels around us, and heavenly angels, and earthly angels. And I really think that our spirits that are eternal, our real inside selves, our
Wow.
true beings, can sense and feel. And the more we open up to that possibility, the more we can appreciate and receive. And I love what Deepti said. I can't exactly say it back, but it's like making the space to believe and allowing ourselves. And it's a choice. It's an openness. So
Wow.
yeah, just big gratitude.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Betsy, because, I had been seeing the ethereal as like above the earth, which I believe it does exist there too. But when you said something about that your real inside selves, we have the ethereal within us. Our spirits are ethereal. Our
Yeah.
spirits are part of that ethereal world. So it's like you said, just a touch away, just a thought away, and we're already there. Such a powerful confirmation. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like a connection or even a remembrance or a reminder or the aha. It's like, oh, I feel that that's true. Or, it's those instinctive things that our human bodies don't always understand, but our spirit selves are like, yep, I get it.
Beautiful. Love that. Thank you. Lots of really awesome stuff going on in the chat too, for those of you who are here live. Phil, you had something, and then we'll shift over to our permission process.
Yeah, it took me a minute to catch on to all this here, but the ether lets everything else exist. Without it, there's no space for anything. And the scientists used to think, that space was completely empty, but it's not empty at all. It's filled with vibrations, and they can communicate with satellites that are at the edge of our solar system. How does it even get there? So science has proved that there is an ether. There is something that allows the vibration to continue through, even though we can't see it. It's certainly there, and even scientifically proven that it's there. And so those are just the two thoughts that came to my mind. Is like, if we doubt, like even science says that there's an ether. So anyway.
Awesome. I know as you were talking, I was visualizing like all the things that we see, the physical things that we see. If you look around the room and, you see your chair, you see, your desk, whatever, that there is the space between them is the ether. It's filled with something actually tangible, physical. It's ethereal. It's a made of finer material that we can't really see with our eyes, but even with a microscope, you can see something, a really powerful microscope. You can see that there is something that exists, and without that space, then everything, because nature abhors a vacuum, everything would just like be crashed together. There'd be like nothing to hold it apart. Yeah, we could, again, this is another, like something that could be a whole week's worth of conversation on this.
Yeah, Wileen, I just want to point out what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
If there was no space, there would be nothing to hold things apart.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to think about that later, because like, holy cow, wait a second. That's a completely opposite way of thinking about it. Right?
Yeah, focusing on the negative space versus the positive space.
And we need both, which we talked about. But anyway,
Yeah.
I just thought it was really cool.
Thank you. Melinda, you're unmuted. Did you have something, just the last thought you'd like to share?
Yeah, just real quick. So the space between that gratitude call, I never really, I didn't get to attend that one.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not really fully come to understand that until Phil's comment, I don't think.
Awesome.
And so I just wanted to share, like, wow, I think I get it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
We've actually had quite a few discussions that have led up to our call today. I've noticed, that it started with the gratitude call that was gratitude for the space between. So you can go look that one up on my website, on my blog. It's wileenbenson.com/blog. I have all the archived gratitude calls. So if you type in space between in the search bar, it will pull that up. So if you're listening and you haven't heard that one. And then we've had several discussions in the Lord's Way to Wealth Mastermind. And who is this that's saying masterclass? I'm not sure who said that. Deep Tea. Yeah, masterclass. That's very much could be a subject of a masterclass.
Yes, because that's how the discussions go so good, and then everyone wants to share, and it's a never-ending one. And then that's the standard patent thing. You say, "Oh, we could actually do a masterclass on this."
Yes, and I do a masterclass every week, so I'm going to write that down as a possibility. I mean, every month. Excuse me. All right. Well, we need to shift over to our permission process. Lots of awesome comments here. Thank you so much for bringing all of your past knowledge to the table and also new knowledge. Some of you who didn't even really know what ethereal meant, you've given some really amazing, contributed amazingly. And so that tells you right there, you don't have to be an expert in anything to create some really amazing value. Go ahead and take a deep breath. I invite you to just allow yourselves to be open to intuition, which exists in that ethereal realm. So allow yourself to rise above the earth and tap into that higher level of finer material that exists above the earth. And you can do that because you have the spirit within you. And so just connecting and resonating that energy of your divine spirit with this ethereal realm, using those skills and gifts that we have, those senses that we have that are finer tuned. And also, as we know, that this ethereal realm is where all creation begins. It's a place where things are moldable. They have not yet been formed into physical shape. And so anything is possible here. And also, as Betsy mentioned, that there are guardian angels, there are people that we love and care for us that have passed on, maybe even children that have not been born yet, posterity that is waiting to still come to earth, that we can have access to all of that energy, and our God and Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Holy Ghost, all of these things that we know exist that are just beyond our physical awareness through our physical senses, but we can easily tap into those with our ethereal senses. Take one more deep breath. And just be open to be divinely instructed in this moment. If there is a goal that you've been wanting to create, know that the creation starts here, and that the physical is just an effect of what happens in the ethereal. If there is a question that you've had that you've not been able to find the answer in the physical world, like going to books or mentors or classes or whatever, this is a place where you can find those answers. Or if you just need to feel love and support, protection, this is a place for that as well. So whatever you need, it's available right here in this ethereal space that we're in. And allow yourself to be fully present, have that ethereal presence, fully present in the ethereal right now, and allowing your physical body to be completely safe on earth, and just allow yourself to be completely present in the ethereal world. And listening for whatever information is available to you right now. And with this new information, allow yourself to fully embrace it. And as you're receiving this new information, maybe there's a limiting belief that's coming up for you. And also listen for your inspired shortcut of what is the one most important thing as soon as you get back to the physical world that would be important for you to take action on. So listening for a limiting belief and also your inspired shortcut. And if you do have a limiting belief, also examine the cost of that. If you take that limiting belief back to the physical world with you, and even in the ethereal world, what effect does that limiting belief, what effect is that going to create? If the limiting belief that's coming to you is an ethereal thing, it's not real, then it is a cause that will affect and create a physical outcome. And so what is the physical outcome that is most likely if you hold on to that limiting belief? And if you don't like that, you can choose to give yourself permission to choose a new belief. So if you're ready to give yourself permission to choose a new belief, say yes.
Yes.
Awesome. And then go ahead and write some new beliefs. And while you're still there in the ethereal world, write those new beliefs, because everything is possible here. All things are potential in the ethereal world. And as you create these new beliefs, know that you are creating the cause of a new effect, that when you bring those new beliefs into the physical world, then it is the means by which all physical things are created. So be careful about the way that you craft those new beliefs and allow them to support this new information that you've received as you've been present in the ethereal world. And also knowing that you're going to bring this into the physical world where all physical things are manifested. And expressing gratitude within this ethereal place that you've been, being present there, and the presence of all of those who were able to be there with you and to help you to learn this new information that you've just gathered, helping you to create these new beliefs, just expressing gratitude for all that's been created there. And then when you're ready, come back to the physical world, bringing all that you've learned with you to create a physical outcome of the ethereal experience. And in a moment, I'm going to open it up. We have time for maybe just one or two really quick shares. And while you're gathering your thoughts on that, I would like to invite anyone that is needing some extra support in this area to connect with me on askwylene.com. That takes you directly to my calendar, and you can schedule a 15-minute call with me, askwylene.com. I'd love to have that experience of connecting with you. Who has something that they'd like to share about their experience today? Phil?
As I go into this, my doubt is that I'm worthy, or that I'm qualified, and that there's not a space for me, which is just crazy. Like, here I am. There's a space for me. There's a purpose for me. I am here. I am always here. I can't help but be something in this space that makes up everything. And so, even Satan has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every person and this that exists, every energy that exists has a purpose and a space that exists within the ether. And that's kind of where I went with that. But
Beautiful. Thank you. What an awesome realization. Love that. Thank you. Well, thank you all for everything that has been shared. I feel, I just want to reiterate what Phil was saying, that we all do have a place here. We have a space here. And if you ever doubt that, just know that nature abhors a vacuum. Whatever is here is supposed to be here, and there is a purpose, and it's very necessary that you're here. Laura, did you have something?
Yeah, just really quick, because I know we're out of time. But what came to me is that I am, and each of us is a powerful creator with power from the ethereal world that gives me creative control of my environment. That's the truth. Mm-hmm. So I am an ethereal being, having a physical experience.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, and I've heard that before, but it's just at a new depth, because at that point that I realize that I truly am ethereal, that is the space within me. That's the essence of me, where all of that potential exists. And it's okay to claim my power from that part of from who I am. So often we're like, oh, we're just this, or we're just human, or, we don't want to be arrogant. That's a thing that I was taught. And that's good. That's a good thing. We don't want to be arrogant. We don't want to try to put ourselves in the place of God. But at the same time, claiming our ethereal power is not putting ourselves in the place of God. It's taking our rightful place as his sons and daughters.
Yes, and glorifying him.
Exactly.
Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that distinction, because I've actually used and even encouraged people to use these affirmations, like I'm a powerful creator. But it really takes it to a new level, doesn't it? I am a powerful creator with power from the ethereal world. I am ethereal.
Yes.
I'm claiming your creative power from that space, is because I could say I'm a powerful creator and then I can go about trying to create my world, which is totally false. But to claim that I am an ethereal being capable of causing the effect of my physical world, that's a totally different concept. That's the truth. The other is a counterfeit.
Exactly.
Thank you. Wow. Super powerful. Thank you all for everything that has been shared. Lots of really great stuff going on in the chat too. So I encourage you, if you have not been on our call live, to come and join us, because we would love to have your experience, even if it is just your ethereal experience, even if you're just here listening, even if you don't say one word, you are part of the creation of this call. And so thank you so much for being here. Today's Friday, so we won't be here Saturday and Sunday. Encourage you to continue your gratitude practice, continue your daily GPS, and we'll be back together on Monday morning, 7 a.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody. Hey, thanks so much for listening. And I encourage you to tune in every day to the Daily Gratitude Call. And the Daily Gratitude Call happens live every weekday morning. I'd love to have you join. So to find out how to join live, go to my website, WilingBenson.com. Thanks for tuning in.